Action Park
Media.
Brea, California, welcome to Victory the Podcast Live. Please join me in welcoming your hosts, Doug Ellen, Kevin Connolly, and Kevin Dillon.
Wow. Welcome to Victory the Podcast. This is very surreal. Guys, thanks so much for coming. This is very surreal. The show's been off the air for a long time already, and Connolly came up with this idea to do this podcast, which I thought was kind of ridiculous, and and we've been just having such a good time. So we're just gonna do a podcast, and we'll see how it goes, So, but thank you for coming. So, Welcome to Victory the Podcast. I'm Doug Ellen.
And I'm Kevin Dillon. On 3, victory. 1, 2, 3, victory! Yeah!
Wait, Kev, I got something. You ready? Here we go. Oh, yeah. That's Irish crickets for you guys right there.
Irish crickets.
Yeah, everybody drink as much as you can. The show will get better for sure.
By the way, dude, that is not an Irish cricket. It's a White Claw.
It's a White Claw.
We need beer. Come on, man. We gotta drink beer with an Irish cricket.
Stock tip, Dave. Get some beers out
Bud
here, bro.
Lights. Bud Lights.
Dave, come on. Let's go. Come on. Hustle, Dave, hustle.
Hey, Doug, you gonna have a beer? Looks like Doug's gonna have a beer.
Your stock tip wants as much stage time as he can get. So.
So, I mean, a few of you have noticed, but I think before we do this, we should acknowledge Doug's hair. Let's talk about the hair.
Oh, yeah, it's looking strong.
By the way, I got to tell you, I was skeptical, but
It's the first time I've been out in public without a hat in 2 years. So.
You look great. He looks great.
It's not quite recovering from cancer, but I'm trying.
It's gonna take some time, but it looks great, buddy. Congratulations.
Looking thick.
It's getting thick. He's on the way.
I'm getting there. So how's everybody else doing? What do you want to talk about, Ken? Before we get into this episode, we're going to talk about Vegas episode, which is a lot of people's favorite.
Vegas, baby, Vegas was one of our favorite episodes. But we got some stuff.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. There's, a lot of talk about this reboot, and it's not that we have any new information, but TMZ did catch me at the office the other day.
They didn't catch you. You called them.
Did you call them?
I might have called them.
It's 112 degrees outside, and they just happen to be standing outside. I just don't buy it. Doug called TMZ, and he did a little press conference out in front. I told Doug, I'm like, man, and listen, it got picked up. A lot of people are talking about it, but honestly, it felt like I didn't know if I want to put a podium in front of you. It was like a press conference, or like stick you in a locker and throw a towel over your shoulder.
Big news that came out the night before that Adrian Grenier is willing to bless us with the thought of reading my script if I write it. So
reboot.
So hopefully we can get everybody back together.
Dylan, did you know that?
Yeah.
That Doug did the impromptu press conference?
I saw the press conference, but I didn't know he actually called TMZ, which is kind of cheating a little bit.
I didn't really call them. They called me, but Adrian said it.
Anything for a reboot. I'm all about the reboot. So.
The funny thing about the reboot is, Doug, he's warmed up to the idea that the person that probably wants to do it the least is Doug.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for Doug.
Yeah, I got the most work to do. Everybody else gets to show up, have a great time, and, So it is definitely a lot of stress to even think about how to redo it again if we did it.
Have you been thinking about it?
Yeah, I wrote some things down.
Dylan wants to do the reboot.
I want to see some scripts.
Yeah, scripts are coming. But hopefully that happens. And what'd you say?
Oh, no, not for the reboot. I'm ready to go. That's number one.
Dylan's too busy for the podcast.
Yeah, he's too busy for the podcast because he gets $50 an episode. But if we actually come back, he'll be in. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does. That's about what it averages out to, I guess, when you think about it. That's why we're here doing the live show. We'll see.
But
So
this is
fun.
it's so weird because it's been 30 years since I bombed on an improv stage on Melrose. And I started as a stand-up. I wasn't
He keeps
successful at
saying
it.
that, but he's holding back the videos.
I mean, they're not great. The hair was
Okay.
great, by the way, but the comedy was mediocre, so I don't know if those are going to come out anytime soon. I'm trying to get Dylan to do stand-up because I think he would kill it. I write
told
it for
you,
Dylan.
if you write it, I will do it. With his writing, we'll be a great team together.
I would love
Let's
that.
do it, Chief. Right here.
Could you write Dylan 3 minutes of stand-up?
Easily. I mean, I have his voice in my head at all times. I wake up at 4 a.m. and I hear Dylan talking to me.
I'd love to see that. By the way, it'd be a great episode.
Yeah.
Great content. Great content.
Well, I was thinking for the reboot, it would be great to have I know you don't need it, just like you don't need calves. That was based on me, not Kevin. But I thought if we did the hair thing with Johnny Drama in the reboot, there could be some good stuff. I'm trying to...
Good storyline.
Yeah.
Johnny Drama visits
just
Dr.
little-
Ziering.
Little ideas.
Maybe a little follow-up on the calves, too, to find out what happened.
So you guys want to get into this Vegas episode or what?
Yeah, that's a popular episode. Let's
Well,
talk about
we just saw the episode together, the three of us, and I got to say, I was a little uncomfortable just watching it.
Ken?
With Ken's hands all over me, and
Do you miss Ken at all or no?
I missed him.
And
Hands
by the way,
of gold.
I reached out to Johan who played Ken, and
We tried to get Ken
He
here.
would have been here today, but he's in Burning Man.
Of course
so.
he's in Burning Man. When Doug said, oh, he's in Burning Man, of course he's in Burning Man. He's the one guy that would be at Burning Man. Of course he's in Burning Man. But that would have been fun. We wanted to surprise you with...
That would have been a surprise, especially if he started rubbing my back.
You know, Kevin, we were watching the episode this morning, and dude, you could literally feel Kevin squirming in the
I was a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. My daughter was actually going to school during when that came out. She went Monday morning, and all of her friends were pretty much making fun of her. Oh, I saw your dad getting rubbed down by a dude. And she's like, Dad, I'm so embarrassed.
You know, and Ken...
What's that? I did kick some ass. I had a lot of anger.
And behind the scenes, what was going on, I mean, Kevin read that script, and he was like, what the fuck is this, bro? And I said, you gotta trust me. It's going to be funny as hell. And as you can tell from his performance, when he commits to something, the guy he's brilliant, and he's funny as hell, and he's one of the most underrated comedic actors in a long time.
He really is.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Watching that conversation play out, I was privy to it, and it was pretty incredible. The Doug would do this. You gotta trust me. Do you trust me? I promise you.
He
this
said
is
that every day of every Entourage shoot ever.
He said, you gotta trust me. I promise
Trust
you this
me.
is funny.
Please trust me.
But I see
And
you
he was
brought your
right
own robe.
95% of the time you're right.
Well, it's wild that the real thing, and we talked about it on the podcast, Kevin used to say, why do you keep making me say victory? And I was like, I don't know. I just think it's going to be something. And then it's now 10 years later, they still say it on SportsCenter. The Marlins win a game, they say victory. So it's surreal. It's weird. Obviously, that wasn't a plan. And as I said to everyone, that was more his delivery than me coming up with the word victory. It just was. And
As Dylan sits here with a robe on stage right now.
Yes. It's getting a little hot.
You brought your own robe?
It's getting a little hot, though.
You know what? We scrambled to get this robe today. We didn't have the actual robe.
It was 42
So we called,
years ago.
Natalie, who does some
John's the reason we
wardrobe
still
stuff
have the
for
robe.
us.
I like
And
how
she
Dylan
came up
says
with
that,
this
though.
last
Can you
night.
believe we didn't have the robe? No.
Yeah.
Like, it's not still in the house?
Exactly.
Well, you promised everyone that I would come here with a robe on. You're like, don't worry, I'll get a robe.
And that you were
And
going to
you
give
didn't
it away
have
to the
one today.
crowd, too, that you were going to give it to somebody. So you're
Who
gonna have
wants
to...
a robe?
Over here, David.
Here we go. We got it. All right. Good catch. Good grab.
Dylan's throwing a bouquet at a wedding. The no look, throwing over his
I
shoulder.
didn't want to pick anyone. I wanted to go over the
And
back.
I'm going to throw my hair off next, so hang tight.
The conversations, I mean, honestly, there was, over the last 2 days, we've spent hours of an endless text talking about that rope. So hopefully it fits or something and somebody likes it, because there was a lot of text firing back and forth about that rope.
But this episode, you know, it was special to me because a lot of it, a lot of the stuff in the show was taken from things in my life. Ari's meltdown in the show was me in high school with my friend Eric Siegel. I lost $84. You would have thought I lost everything I owned because I was not going to be able to eat for a month. And my parents were not the type of people that you told, you went to Atlantic City. Oh, this is wild, man. Yeah. Yeah, Marvin is my father. Paulie Herman plays him on the show, and my son plays Ari's son on the show.
Helicopters? I'll show you helicopters.
Yeah, we should talk. Paulie Herman, who's been in Goodfellas and one of Robert De Niro's best friends. We should just talk about that scene, the first scene that we worked on with Paulie, who's such a great guy and such a great actor. Do you remember we had to shoot that?
In unbelievable movies. I mean, the guy's.
Do you remember his first scene though? It was 150 degrees. There was no air conditioning, and Paulie was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill somebody if you don't cool it down in here."
Yeah, he turned into Goodfellas.
Yeah,
he might have even used the helicopter line. But we talk about one of the best things for us with the show was being able to travel and go to these different places. And the Vegas episode, that was a live casino. That they did not shut that down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember this, but the way that they would justify it would be like, well, if we were shooting the takes, and if people are looking, that's okay because Vince is there, and they would be looking. People would be looking at Vince. But when people started screaming "Turtle," we're like, oh boy. Maybe this show really is catching on, you remember that?
The thing to think about this episode, season 1 just starts airing. We're shooting this. TiVo was really just coming out. I thought the show was getting canceled. TiVo.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tim Tebow. What are you talking about?
No,
TiVo.
not Tim Tebow. TiVo, yeah.
TiVo.
That's, some people probably don't know what that is.
They don't know what that is, Doug.
When
you
the
just
ratings,
aged yourself and your hair.
But when the ratings came out, Variety or this one, they weren't, they can say whatever they want. They weren't smart enough to know that people were recording this or watching it in groups. But the ratings came out, and while we were getting ready to start shooting, I was literally in my bed in Vegas, curled up, thinking we were getting canceled. Because an article just came out that said, Sex and the City ended 3 years ago and did whatever number, and we did like a third of that. So it sounded really bad. And the president of HBO called me up. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. Just, when are we getting canceled? And
sulking.
And he said, "Are you out of your mind? This show goes as long as you guys want it to go," which is not true because they actually did cancel us.
He really pulled back on that one, didn't he?
Yeah, but he actually got fired, so it was somebody else that canceled us. But when I got off, it was right out of the show because I got off of that call with Chris Albrecht, who was a great guy and made this show happen. And actually, weirdly enough, Chris Albrecht started as a manager of the Improv 35 years ago, and then he became,
I forgot about that.
And then he became the king of Hollywood and was the guy that really made this show go. But so I get off the phone with Chris, and I'm feeling a little bit better, and I walked out to the pool at the Hard Rock Cafe. We barely aired 3 episodes, and as Kevin said, all these meatheads from Long Island and Jersey that we grew up with are yelling "Turtle," and I was like, "What? How do they know who Turtle is?"
They sound like they're from Long Island, don't they?
And it felt like the show, like we knew it was working then, and we had a couple of good years before HBO started harassing us. But
that was a fun one. Do you remember? I know for me personally, because whatever. There's like these guys are animals. How are they going to shoot 8 days in Vegas or whatever, right? So me personally, I went on Friday night, and I just.
Get the fun out of your system.
I let it fly on Friday and Saturday. Slept all day Sunday. I was ready to go Monday.
I didn't party at all. I just stayed
right.
Cool because I knew Vegas you could get in nothing but trouble in Vegas. So I took it easy. I had a lot of dialogue too. So
you did a lot of massages.
Yeah,
a lot of massages.
Me and Ken.
You're real hard on the body.
Did you get yourself lean for that? You knew you were going to be shirtless. Did you work out for that or what?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out because I had a broken wrist.
Oh,
at
that's
that
right.
Stage. I don't know if you remember. I broke my right wrist.
And I walked in.
My left wrist. You can see the scar there.
The thing that the guys do when they walk into the casino, that's me and my friends since we were kids. We'd walk in and put 5 on red. Now, I walked in when we were about to shoot, and I lost. Right. And I was like, guys, we're fucked. This is not going to go well at all. So
it was a fun episode, and then the biggest thing that I remember about the episode was I remember Dylan being cautiously optimistic that his storyline wasn't crazy. I mean, it turned out it's the best part of it for me. The Ken.
Yeah. I didn't love it at first.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Did you bring your almonds today?
What's that?
Did you bring almonds with you today? Or?
You know what I did?
No, you didn't.
I had almonds. I don't think. Check that robe. They might be in the pocket of that robe.
We need that robe back.
Class-leading rear legroom. Available Mark Levinson Pure Play sound system. And now, for the first time, all-wheel drive. If there's anything missing in the Lexus ES, it's you. The Lexus ES, now available with all-wheel drive. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. Click the banner to discover more.
2021 ES versus 2020-2021 competitors. Information from manufacturers' websites as of 5/3/2021. Mark Levinson is a registered trademark of Harman International Industries, Inc.
The Vegas episode was, for us, it was so difficult to get the casino and to get all of that happening. And
Who would do that stuff?
Our line producers called, but there's not a lot of casinos are shutting down.
Legal? Is it like?
Well, that's not the tough part. It's calling Hard Rock and making all those contacts and getting them to let us actually go in there and do what we needed to do. And when we're shooting those scenes, if some of you have listened to the podcast, but we shot stuff pretty complicated for a low budget show, and walking into the casino in one shot with dialogue of 5 people and then Seth Green entering as well.
Boy.
Is not an easy challenge, especially when there's a bunch of drunk people gambling at the Hard Rock who could care less about it. So,
yeah, the Seth
Kev,
Green...
do you remember we won a couple bucks at the casino there playing craps?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You, me, Adrian, and Jerry.
Yeah, we had a big run on the craps table.
Yeah, I mean, like $5,000.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But we also, I wasn't there for this one, so we would be, because we were one of the last shows, we always shot on film, right? So... it's a dying. There you go. A couple of film guys over here. So
some people are like, "What's film?"
Right. Now you could just shoot for days on these HD cards, but back in those days, right? There would always be a 10-minute window where they had to reload the film magazines. So they'd be like, "Cut." We got to change the roll, and then everybody would just explode and run to different tables to gamble, right? Yeah.
And if you're on a roll, you don't want to walk over to the set.
Right. Then they would have to send people out to find us all. It'd be like, Dylan, and then we'd get back to the take, and everybody was like talking about the last 5 minutes. And you and Jerry had a big run between
we had a big
takes.
roll. I know, I was mixing it up. We actually won some money playing craps, too, but
that
that's a whole
that was
different
that
story.
night, but you guys won a bunch of money between takes as well.
we did,
Which
yeah.
I got killed, which was terrible.
I'm glad you guys had fun while I was sitting in the room rewriting dialogue, because Dylan was going, "I'm not fucking saying this, bro. No way."
Hands of gold, Ken. Hands of gold.
And then we had the thing with Seth Green, which Seth Green and I did a Matchbox car wash commercial together in like 1982. I've known him it's a true story. I've known him my whole life. Seth is a great guy. So yeah, exactly.
So Sloan, I say, what up?
Not a day goes by that somebody doesn't have something to say about that one. It's just it never ends. It never ends. But there is a thing where we're going to do this fight, and it's all like based off of Dylan's anger with Ken, right?
Yeah.
So Dylan snaps, and he's looking to unload on somebody. So you can understand both parts of it. Seth Green is like he's doing us a favor, and he was. He's like, "Yo, I'm doing you a favor. I'm not getting beat up on the show."
Can I just give I just got to give a little.
Said, well, I'm not getting beat up on
I just
the
got to
show,
give
bro.
a little interjection to this, because it is so funny how actors, they're playing a character, obviously, but when it comes to getting beat up, all of a sudden it became this thing. So originally, I wrote this for Scott Kahn.
Yeah, and Scott Kahn can beat me up.
And Scott Kahn is not a big guy, but as Bomba, who's here somewhere, will tell you, he's an animal. He's a trained black belt.
And yeah, he can beat me up. I'm happy with that. Seth can't.
But it all starts.
Not even close.
But
Not
I take
even
Scott.
close.
I take Scott Kahn to dinner. I'm like, "I want you to play this part. Here's the part. You're gonna pick on Connolly," and he's just looking at me, kind of like James Caan's dad, who was Sonny Corleone, for those who know. And he's like, "What do you mean I'm gonna pick on Connolly?" I'm like, "You're gonna fuck with him, and you're like maybe get in a fight with him." He goes, "I can't get in a fight with Connolly," and I was like, "Why?" He goes, "I'd kill him," So
he
I'm
did
like,
choke me out once upon a time in '99. True story as well.
But I'm like, "You're acting. It doesn't really matter whether you'd kill him or not." And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm playing myself, and myself would kill Kevin Connolly." So I'm like, "All right, we'll find somebody else." So I get Seth Green, and then Connolly gets the script, and he goes, "I mean, if Seth Green hits me, nothing's going to happen." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
No, dude. So our crew works so hard, and they're there way after us, way before us, and way after us. But for a scene like that, Dylan, do you remember this when we were shooting I don't even know if it's there anymore, but it was Body English at the Hard Rock was the club.
Yeah, like you don't know if it's there, I'm sure.
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't know if it's still there. I mean, it's there.
Dylan's got the number in his phone, believe me.
He's got a kid now. He doesn't go out
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. I was like, yeah, but Body English is a no-go for me these days. But, so what happened was we knew there was going to be a fight. So, these guys are there hours before. They choreograph all this stuff. And then the last thing they do is bring in the actors, and we watch the stunt rehearsal. Do you remember this?
I do remember, because I had the broken wrist, and I didn't want to get my wrist any more damaged than it was.
Yeah, so we're like we have our coffee and our bagels, and we watch the stunt rehearsal, and I see this one stunt guy bouncing off the walls. He's flying around. He gets thrown over the railing. And I was like, who's that guy playing? They're like, oh, that's you. I said, the fuck it is. Fuck that. No chance. I said, Doug, and now it's Doug and Seth Green and I. Like, nobody wants to get beat up. So we came to the, right, what we decided on that. We would just cut to a wide shot.
Yeah, we
so
decided. Nobody
really won. But I'm watching this guy. I'm like, that's me? No way, dude.
But honestly, though, just for people who are interested in the creative process, that whole thing changed, and the Dylan punch really didn't happen until we all
saved
loved
the
it.
day.
I mean, it did. It saved the whole thing, and it's
Yeah.
just such a great end to the episode. But that wasn't in the original script, and
Seth Green throws me over the railing. I mean, are you kidding me?
How's he going to do that?
That's just wrong.
By the way, with all the social gloves and all this stuff that's going on now with the fighting, maybe we put you and Green in a steel cage.
You know what's funny?
Nice, I like it.
Seth is a guy. He's just got so much confidence too, right? So I remember at one point he was like, "Well, why don't we just see what happens?" What if Seth Green is some fucking crazy black belt? He may be a black belt. He was so confident. I was like, well, let's not see what happens. We don't want anybody to get hurt here. After that first rehearsal, I was like, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I knew.
And then there was the other kid, though. We put a kid in.
No, they were Seth Green's crew was our crew guys. Mo, Wardrobe.
Yeah, but there was that one guy who
Dave.
was just like a fan or something that we put in. Do you remember it? And he wanted to I think he got drunk during the scene, and he thought we were really fighting or something. You don't remember that guy? And he was kind of thick. He was wide. You don't remember?
He was
this
an
guy?
actor, bro.
No, he absolutely was not. I put him in from the casino. He was like, please put me in, please put me in. And then I think he had a couple of shots right before the scene, and then he's like, I may take Johnny Drama down right now. And people talk all the time about how much is improvised, how much is written. Most of it's written, but Seth Green came up with some genius stuff. I mean, the guy
Pollock.
really is.
Doug wants it on the record that he did not say the Jackson Pollock line.
I mean, I'm a little upset that I didn't, but now in 2021, I guess it's not that PC. But that was Seth's line, but it was a great line, and he was just throwing them off off the top of his head, one after the other. It was actually difficult to edit him because he was so funny, and a lot of people ask if he's an obnoxious guy. He's one of the nicest people I've ever worked with.
The I don't drink tequila crew? Is that
No,
his?
Jägermeister.
Jaeger crew, yeah.
Which is true. I mean, Jesus.
But that was my
Jaeger?
drink. That was my drink from New Orleans College, which I hope everyone's doing well in New Orleans with what's going on today. That's where I went to school, and it's even more of a second home than LA, even though I've been here 30 years. I still consider myself a New Yorker, and New Orleans probably second. But big storm obviously is heading there, so we'll pray for everybody.
Oh, it's there, man.
Yeah, so... but
pretty wild.
But this episode, it was so much fun going on behind the scenes, and so many things that were awesome.
Yeah,
about
all
it.
of us for 8 days. A couple people went missing. Do you remember that?
I think I do. It was probably Adrian.
No, you don't remember that? We had a couple crew members that went missing.
Who went missing?
I don't know. I don't know if I should say their names, but that was always the worry was always what happens when Connolly
Wardrobe
or Dylan,
department, right?
I think it was whatever. Let's stay out of the departments. But I think, but somebody went missing and then they never came back. They didn't show up. But that was always the fear. What if somebody gets going?
Reese has been known to go missing in Vegas occasionally.
That's what my
Billy Walsh.
Reese, who played Billy Walsh, he went to Vegas when we first started.
For my birthday party, right?
And we're shooting, and when you're shooting a show, obviously you can't change your hair. I can change it, but he can't. But Reese got fucked up in Vegas and shaved his head and came back.
He did it himself. It was the worst cut you ever saw.
We
patchy.
we were all like going our separate ways, and I was like, guys, no matter just whatever, just be here, this spot tomorrow at 10 a.m. We gotta leave. We gotta catch this plane. Everybody's there. The only one missing, Reese. 10 o'clock, 10:05, 10:30. Reese comes down with a shaved head. I'm like, the show is over. We're shooting tomorrow. But as it turned out, it was the Medellin premiere.
Well, I came up with this idea that at the Medellin premiere, he takes his hat off and he goes, I'm so nervous, I fucking shaved my head off. But so it
ended up working out. If that were me, I would have gotten sued by HBO. I would have been a disaster.
And Reese, just as
I almost wonder if he knew that would work. I don't know.
As long as we're on Reese, who is Connolly and maybe my favorite character that isn't one of the main
outside of you, Dylan. We know.
Well, I love myself. You know that. No, I love him too. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
He really is.
No, he's great.
But Reese Coiro, who is such a great actor, I remember when he came in, because when we were first casting the show, obviously we were looking for Mark Wahlberg to play the lead guy, which is almost impossible to find. There's just not a lot of guys like him. And we got Adrian, who was great, but a year later we meet Reese, who's kind of a tougher, bigger New York guy. And I just remember we were sitting at lunch at the thing, and Reese walks in with like a wife beater on, and every girl in the place was like, who the fuck is that? And I looked at Connolly. We're in season 3, I think. And I'm like...
Season 1.
I'm like, should he have been Vince? Did we fuck up?
Reese is great.
Maybe he'll be Vince in the movie if Adrian really doesn't want to do it in the reboot or whatever. We'll see what happens. But how close to your experiences of going to Vegas was this guy's crew? Because this really was how my friends are, forgetting the fight stuff. But, what kind of stuff did you guys do when you go to Vegas besides steal chairs from Conor McGregor fights?
Well, no, Turtle gets Vince into a bit of a situation with the stripper contest.
Yeah.
That's a bad look. You can get, your agents Dylan, your agent would not be thrilled if you were judging a strip contest in Vegas.
But Dylan would do it for the right price if anyone's got it all.
Stay out of it, agent. It's my call.
But Connolly, you've gone to Connolly, who just coincidentally happened to. He lived in this world of kind of big stars before the show.
Where are you going with this?
I want to know in your trips with your celebrity friends.
We never judged this stripper contest.
Was there
his friends that he couldn't get to do cameos on Entourage?
Was there anyone...
I don't know about you. I didn't see Matt Dillon pop up in any episodes either.
Touche, E. Touche.
Still waiting for that Matt Dillon cameo 20 years later.
Were there any guys in the crew when Mark and his crew first pitched me the idea of doing this show? The stories would be like, Mark's friend Paulie, who started the fan club and stole all the money from the fan club.
Can you imagine that?
I don't know if people are going to like that crew, but when
it's not a likable character stealing the fan club money.
But was there anyone in whatever, Leo's or Toby, was there, besides Mike Young maybe, was anyone coming up with really kind of strange things to go,
No, it was never like that. No.
Kevin doesn't want to talk. He's scared. He's
I still want to know why Matt Dillon wasn't on Entourage, to be totally honest.
He's going to do the reboot. But, you going to get Leo for the reboot? I'll get Matt. You get Leo, all right?
And by the way, I can tell you right now, Connolly holds all the keys, because if he can get Leo for the reboot, it happens tomorrow. So,
don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Make the call, yeah. That would be a great call. It'd be a very short call, trust me.
Now, what about you, Kevin? Your trips to Vegas?
He's an animal.
I mean...
Well, we did that epic trip to Vegas with Mark Wahlberg. We flew out on a private jet. This is before we started filming.
Oh, right when we got the cast together.
Yeah,
right. A bonding
trying
trip.
to get us to bond a bit. We had a great time.
So tell us about that trip. Mark obviously was amazing, executive producer, made everything happen. But the show gets picked up, and we've got our cast, and Mark says, we're going to Vegas tomorrow. So just tell us about that trip.
Yeah,
don't tell us too much about the trip.
It was the 4 guys on a private jet with a couple of Mark's boys, and just flew us out, went to clubs and all that.
Yeah,
Kevin Connolly got into nothing but trouble, but I won't get into all that.
I was going to say, let's keep this.
That's what it is. He wants to keep it clean, huh?
No, it was a PG. It was a very PG.
Right.
No, but it was a bonding trip. It was a bonding trip.
And do you think you guys bonded? Do you think it helped the show, the chemistry, everything?
Absolutely, absolutely. I got the first time I saw Dylan hammered, stumbling around the casino. I'm just kidding.
That
Dylan.
might be the truth a little bit.
No, that was a fun trip. But we had a bunch of fun Vegas trips, which is why, when we actually went out there to shoot, there wasn't really the need to. We really did. That's the thing, too, about the show. Like, we as much fun as we had, we worked hard.
Yeah,
we worked
did.
long hours. And
By the way, I don't know if you can see my eyes rolling, but
Doug,
they worked so fucking hard. I can't even tell you.
Shedding a tear for us right now.
Doug's got new eyebrows as well. Did you see that? What an eye roll!
They're tattoos.
What an eye roll.
They're tattooed on. Is that fine? I mean,
No, but the point is that we had been to Vegas enough to where there was not the need to go crazy. We went to dinners and that kind of. Maybe we went out a little bit. We had a couple drinks.
But I do want to talk a little bit about, though, since we're doing this live, we've talked about some of this on the podcast, though. But for real, was there a more fun thing that you've done in your career than this show? Was there anything?
Nothing.
I mean,
I had a lot of fun on, Platoon was great in the Philippines with all the guys. That was awesome. The Doors, I played in front of a big crowd and all that. But there was nothing more fun than this show, Entourage, and the character was great.
Yeah.
We need a reboot, right? Reboot.
Dylan.
Look at that! I got a reboot chant going.
Dylan loves his own character. It's like all about. Whenever we're covering an episode that Dylan's not.
I'm hearing jealousy in your voice.
I never really loved this episode. I was never a huge fan of this episode. It's like, why? Because you're not in it a lot. But that anything to do with it. No,
but
we
should talk about Piven in this episode, though, because he's so good. He really is. I watching it today and watching his reactions just at the blackjack table, which was, again, it was a little bit of my comic look, like at Casino when Joe Pesci is in Casino yelling at the guy, and Piven yells at the dealer once. It's just it's really hilarious, and Go
ahead, Dylan. You want to say it?
Yeah, no, that's like Kevin Connolly. I've been on a blackjack table with Kevin, going off on the poor dealer.
I wasn't going off on the dealer. He was a cooler. They brought him in.
I think
from
you
the
called
back.
the dealer a donkey. You're like, nice, you donkey.
Well, I know.
I said, this guy's a donkey. Somebody relieve him. When's lunch, bro?
I know there's a story.
Well, you're Irish. You're the donkey. What are the Irish?
Just because you brought up the chiller, I know there's a story from you in Vegas with Don Johnson, who I'm not talking Don Johnson, the actor. I'm talking the real Don Johnson from Instagram. But
Doug refers to everybody by their Instagram handle. You don't want to have a real name. You only have an
he was
Instagram
in
handle.
Vegas, and he's a big gambler, and he had Adrian sitting at his table. And do you remember a little bit about this?
Grenier's a cooler.
I wasn't there, but he told me that he went down like $200,000, $250,000 since Adrian was there. He's like, dude, you got to leave. I'm sorry, but you got to leave my table.
And Adrian, I remember,
he was like,
Adrian's
you're
the kind
kidding,
of guy
right?
that hits on 17. I just feel lucky. I'm just going to hit. No, bro, there's 5 other people playing. You can't hit 17. This place is going to turn
But I
into
know
a
he told me, Don told me, he said,
true.
He said, Adrian, you got to go. And Adrian was like, ha, ha. And he had like his 2 bodyguards with him. It was like, we're serious, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we love Entourage, but this guy's a $1 million player. Get the fuck out of here. Get off this table.
So what's your best win in Vegas? What's your best day?
My best win ever was $24,000.
Oh.
But it was at Jupiter's Casino in Australia. It was pretty decent. Aussie dollars. But
I'm trying to do
I've done about $8,000
trying to do the math on that one.
blackjack.
Oh, wait, did that just drop to 8,000?
Is that
now?
yen?
No.
What is it, American
in Vegas.
dollars?
I'm talking about Vegas, 8,000.
8,000?
8,000.
I mean, it was more exciting at 24.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, that was great. It was all playing craps.
I was trying to convert it, but I couldn't do it.
It'd be about 20,000 American.
I've told this story like countless times. It's like probably heard it a million times, but I was, at the Binions, Horseshoe Binions, I was underage. And a friend of mine, she was 24, and I was like, hey, will you run this money through the slot machine? And we won $403,000 on
What did she do,
50
Kevin?
cents. Oh, she kept the money and told me to go fuck myself, is what she did. That's what happened.
I don't know if anyone's ever heard that story. He
That's
told
a
it on
true
Leno,
story.
but
we hit a 1. It was like a.
He was underage.
It was like a 1 in 7.6 million shot, and I walked away with fucking lint in my pockets.
Where is she now?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Didn't she pay you some of it eventually?
No. She's a crook. She's a crook.
I mean,
she belongs in jail.
but Kevin doesn't like
Because
to tell
you'd
the
be in
story.
jail. Donald Trump.
For whatever
You'd be in
reason,
jail.
Kevin doesn't like to tell the story, but then a decade later, he's nominated for an Emmy. He gets up from his seat, and they have people that fill the seats when you get up, and this girl who stole his money was the seat filler. So Payback is a bitch, but
goes around, comes around.
That is one of the worst stories.
I actually was
I've ever
uncomfortable when.
And by the way, you drove to Vegas with her like 7 hours.
No, we were all friends. It was like a group of us. We were, I would have never. All I know is I would have never done that to her. That's all.
I hope not. Jesus.
Well, money does crazy things.
Yeah, Dylan gets crazy in Vegas with money. That $8,000 conversion rate or whatever he's talking about.
Fall is busy, but HelloFresh recipes save time that you'd otherwise spend meal planning, shopping, and chopping, so you can get back to what really matters, eating. Get better value. HelloFresh is over 30% cheaper than shopping at grocery stores with pre-portioned ingredients that ensure you won't spend money on excess food that only ends up going in the trash. All right, so, I just got this recipe, Szechuan chicken quinoa bowl. Let me tell you something. If you asked me to put this together myself at the grocery store, it would take me the rest of my life. I'd come home from a hard day of work. You think I want to spend my time trying to figure out how to cook quinoa and where to find it in the grocery store aisle? It all comes to my house. It tells me what to do. The next thing I know, I've got a cheap, healthy meal done. Life is much better that way. Go to HelloFresh.com/Victory14 and use code Victory14 for up to 14 free meals, including free shipping.
This episode, again, like I said, it was
awesome.
It was one of my favorites. It was a chance for us to get out of town and, which is just a lot of fun doing that. So, and we got a chance to do that a couple of times. We shot in Cannes.
I wish we know who went missing. Do you not remember this story?
Me or Dylan? Who are you looking at?
Do you remember Dylan? Dylan, don't say anything. Just somebody, we turned around. I was like, hey, what happened to Joe from, whatever. Two people went missing.
You're not talking about a cast member, though, are you?
No. It wasn't a cast member. It was a crew member.
What do you mean missing?
They just went out and, never came home kind of thing. That happens in Vegas. They just got caught up in the moment of Vegas.
Yeah. Supposed to stay in Vegas, but...
It might have been in the Spearmint Rhino at some point, but... whatever. We'll find. We'll talk about that one off air. But a lot of grippuccinos.
Speaking of grippuccinos, we need a couple more Irish crickets up here, huh?
Stockton,
come on, Dave.
Yeah, Dylan will never make it through a full podcast without having to take a word from our sponsors. And then he runs out to go to the bathroom. Doug and I are sitting there
that
like,
might happen at any time.
I'm shocked you haven't already, by the way.
But I didn't do a warm-up like KC. I had a couple drinks beforehand.
I had a drink before we came out to take the edge off. Give me a break.
I mean, as long as they're bringing it up, we've talked about it on the show before, but we have a famous thing that we talk about, which was the St. Patty's Day Massacre, which, when the...
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
I mean, but we shot on St. Patrick's Day, and the schedule got pushed a little bit.
In the first place. This is everything wrong about that in the first place.
But having these two Irish guys have some time on their hands and some alcohol.
Well, it was a 7 o'clock call time. A lot of daylight. Daylight to burn. Dylan and I ended up at Irish Times.
I'm getting desperate. I might drink this White Claw. And he said, here we go. Stock tip. There we go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Where do you get that Pizza Boy sweatshirt? Where do you get that Pizza Boy? Yeah, I know, Dave. Thanks for the warm beers. I'd rather bring me a hot tea while you're at it. Jesus.
Let me hear that cricket, dude.
So, what do you guys think? You want to take some questions from people?
I got questions. I got some questions.
Let's talk to the
very
audience.
Questionable.
Okay, Omar from Merced, California, age 30.
Omi.
Where are you? Where are you, Omar?
Is Gary finding him?
Where is Omar? Coming in hot. Oh, he's in the bathroom?
He's in the bathroom.
Wait, this just flew in.
Are you telling me
Omar just flew in hot?
Am I supposed to look?
What are the odds? Next question. Well, we'll come back to it.
Well, Dylan's catching paper planes from Matt Doheny, who says "fuck you" gently. I'm not sure who that is to, but he wants to know my favorite person that was not on the show. Oh, favorite person you met on the show. Oh.
Yes, how you doing?
Well, that would have to be between...
Nice handwriting, bro.
That would have to be between
terrible,
Dylan
like
and Colin. You know what? Honestly, we had basically 13 or 14 years together, and I mean...
The entire crew from Kissing a Fool was on Entourage. So that started way before Dylan and I.
But you know what the truth is, and a lot of people talk about this, we had a great group of people, and you hear horror stories about different stuff that goes on, but the reason we're so close, and the truth is Jerry and even Adrian, who isn't doing the podcast, which is weird because we all like to consider ourselves close friends and brothers, but we had a really great group, so I wouldn't want to pick a favorite person, but my kids were on the show, so they probably
I'm his favorite, though. By the way, it's me.
You know,
me, right, Doug?
Dylan would be slightly ahead of
Kevin gets
Colin.
upset, but it was me for sure.
I'm curious
told me
about
earlier.
E and Anna
I'll get over
Faris
it. I'll
at
get over it.
Greystone. Do you guys got any stories about that? Sorry, I have the mic.
Oh,
They
Jesus
gave me
Christ.
this thing, so I don't know what's happening.
How many questions this guy got?
Yeah, I don't know. They gave me a microphone, so I gotta talk.
Get ready.
No, but so you guys shot an episode at my family's house up at Greystone with
Wow.
E and Anna Faris.
Oh, wow, you got a rich family.
Well, you know,
Rich motherfucker you are, bro.
it's a good life. I'm not gonna lie, but
No
I want to
shit.
hear about the story about
Great
you
house.
and Anna Faris at Greystone.
Yeah, no, that was... yeah, fuck, you can keep that microphone all night, bro.
All right, hey, I will.
He's gonna be borrowing money.
No,
off
that's
you
a great...
anytime now.
I live right over there. No, it was amazing. It's actually one of my funny, when we talk about some of the sort of the side characters, the guy that played Anna Faris's boyfriend.
Yeah. AJ Buckley.
AJ Buckley and Anna Faris and that whole thing. It's a few times where you're watching, and of course I'm standing there boring everybody to death. But these two, Anna Faris and AJ Buckley, are
I mean,
just
AJ
absolutely
Buckley, who's
killing
on
it.
what, SEAL Team 6?
Yeah, he's on- he's
I mean,
just-
is one of the funniest actors, and he's
Yeah.
doing drama.
It was amazing. No, that was a lot of fun. I love that because it was close to my house. Can you and I be friends forever? All right, I got a question from Edgar. Is he taking a piss as well? Edgar from Anaheim, who started out the show at 32 and is now 40. So I'm suspicious. Kevin Dillon, how many drivers did you break during the Tom Brady episode?
A lot. I think we broke 5 or 6 because you guys kept scoring them. So they had the prop guy score the driver.
What does that
They would
mean?
Snap, like cut along the edge of the shaft. And they would break too clean.
Ew.
They would break so clean it didn't look natural. And I said, Doug, on the last one, I said, this is our last driver. I said, just let me break it. Don't score, don't touch anything. Just shoot it wide. And I did. That's when I did the step move, and it worked out perfect.
That's not Dylan's first driver that he's broken.
No,
that's for sure.
first 4, if you remember, Doug, were over my knee.
And
And
just
I was
so
like,
you know, with
forget about the
Dylan,
knee thing.
anything that was a golf scene, he takes it very seriously, and he's much more concerned with his swing looking good than the comedy or the story. So,
it's gonna make me look bad to the fellas.
I know
back
what
at Wingfoot.
I broke a couple clubs in my day.
Yes, you
and I
have.
know they don't break like
I've
that.
seen it.
They don't
I've
snap
seen
like
it.
that.
All right. Ben Beavers is age 21.
Ben Beavers.
KD, will you sign Ben Beavers' calf?
Yeah, all right, get up here.
Come on up here.
Better be a nice calf, I'll tell you right now, or you're going to hear it. Is it an implant? What, you got something I can sign? All right.
This is weird, man. This is weird.
Dude, this is getting like
Look at that. Look at that python. That's a fucking calf
Jesus
for you right
Christ,
there, bro.
he's got tree trunks.
This guy's got tree trunks. Jesus, Kevin.
hey, somebody's got to
Hey,
send
those
me
are
that
good
video.
calves. I'm not going to lie, they're good calves.
He's
I'm
got
not one
good
to
calves.
admire
He's got
another
good
man's calves, but that was impressive.
I got another one for you. I got another one for you, Dylan. Show him the calves. Jesus Christ. The guy's got real calves.
That's a nice implant right there. I can't even get my.
Once a day we got to look at his
By the
calves.
way, I know we talked about his reaction to the Ken story. When he saw the script with the fake calves, he called me up. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck is this?"
What were you
And he
thinking,
said-
Doug? What were you thinking?
No,
And he
when
wanted-
they lined up the cameras, like, well, they better get a stand-in in here because they don't want to shoot my calves. They're monsters. Remember that? You're like, this guy
That's
can't
true.
shoot my calves. It's true. Yeah.
I said, you're going to have to shoot around my calves, man.
All right, Dylan, here's another question for you that you're going to lie about. What is your handicap, and what is the lowest score you've ever shot?
My handicap is a little questionable right now.
Let's get on
It says I'm like a 7.8, but I'm probably closer to like an 11 right now. I've been playing a lot of golf. It's true. Work it goes up with work. But I shot 2 under on a 72 par golf course. I shot a 70. I had 6 birdies and 4 bogeys. So that's my best score. 2 under.
How many mulligans?
1 off the first tee. That's the only place you can use a mulligan. Off the
Dylan
first tee.
says, which I agree with, and I love it. If you're a member of the club, it is an unspoken rule
You
that you get a mulligan off the first tee.
One off the first tee. Nowhere else on the golf course. Which was invented at Wingfoot, by the way.
By Dylan.
Dr. Mulligan at Wingfoot.
Well, we're still debating whether Dylan invented Irish crickets. Did you guys hear that before Dylan? I had
Has
not.
anyone heard of that? No.
Irish crickets.
Well, right here.
By the way, is Omar back? Omar, okay.
What were you doing in the bathroom, bro? It was a long time.
I was going to say, bro. Everything all right, Omar? Everything all right?
Don't feel bad. Dylan goes 4 times a podcast.
I gotta go.
Dylan's going
Time
to
for
take
a commercial break.
Dylan's going to take a word from our sponsor. I don't even know if I should be asking this question, but it did come in from these guys. So Omar, Kev, at Drama, not Dylan. Do you still fuck like a puma? And which I agree. What exactly does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Is that from you, Omar? First of all, it's the only way I fuck. Yeah, of course I fuck like a puma. Nice and smooth and slow.
Is there another way? Is there
Tell me
another
why.
way?
Can I just say, though, Dylan, right when the podcast starts and we start to get
That's
a little
fucking hilarious,
we start
bro.
to get a little traction and Dylan is learning about Instagram, he posts that. He goes, do you fuck like a puma? And I
No,
called
tag
Connolly.
somebody that fucks like a puma. I said, Dylan had someone running his Instagram account.
But I
'Cause he
called
didn't do
Connolly.
that.
I'm like, we're getting canceled immediately. We're done.
Dylan is in front of a puma in Vegas and said, tag somebody that fucks like a puma. Doug called me in a panic. Did you see this? Do you know what they're going to do?
And Dylan goes, you wrote the fucking line. What are you getting mad at me about?
No, Dylan said,
By the way, it was a jaguar, too. It wasn't even a puma.
even a puma. But Dylan said, he said, yeah, I was a little surprised myself when I saw that. I was going to take it down until I saw how many likes it got.
Got a lot of likes, bro. Got a lot of likes.
Fucking planet are we on? Dylan didn't know what Instagram was till 2 weeks ago. Now he's talking about likes.
True that. True that.
All right, here we go. Michael from Chicago, 24. Here, my question is, if they're a reboot, any specific fan favorite characters you'd like to bring back? Nicky Rubenstein, Dice, Max Ballard. He'd make a phenomenal grown-up Max Ballard.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Cheers, keep rocking.
We
So
need
who would
Dice.
you bring back?
We need Dice.
I mean, we had so many great people. When you say every name, I'd like to bring back. Adam Goldberg, who played Nicky Rubenstein, is amazing. I would love to work with him again. And obviously, Dice already said yesterday when he saw the TMZ thing, he said, I'm in.
I saw that. He's in.
Yeah, but, you know.
Dice is in on setting that up, I'm sure.
We got Johnny Bananas we got to follow up with.
But I mean, again, you know, we had Busey was awesome. We were lucky enough to work with some of the greatest people in the world, the athletes, filmmakers, actors, whatever, Matt Damon, you know. So we'd take whoever we could get. You know,
this one, too, while we're talking about being able to, you know, do cool things like this. This is Michael Ferroli from West Hampton Beach, Long Island. Nice bathrobe.
Long Island.
There
Long
we
Island
go.
got the bathrobe. Long Island got the bathrobe. I would have it.
Fix.
I love it. I'm happy that happened. So, in First Class Jerk, right? Which was Jerry and...
What are you asking me to remember the title of this?
That was
thing?
weird.
That
When
was like
Jerry
15
meets
years ago?
Jamie Lynn in the
okay.
First Class.
I do. What a title.
You're wearing... Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
You're wearing a Patchogue Raiders t-shirt. What prompted you in that scene, and how did it feel to rep your old high school? So I was repping my old high school, but coincidentally, obviously my character, Eric Murphy, but Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who Lone Survivor was based on, went to my high school.
We know Murph.
Yeah, right? So that was his number, and it was jersey, and it was a nice way to pay homage to certainly the pride and joy of our high school, and frankly, like pride and joy
It
of
wasn't
America.
you, bro?
Huh?
It wasn't you, I guess.
I said...
Kevin, were you voted top 10 pride of your high school or no?
Well, obviously I'm not Michael Murphy, dude. Yeah.
I didn't put you as one. No one put you as
I
one.
barely
I'm
graduated
looking
high
for
school,
two.
dude. The guy's getting Medal of Honor winner. The guy's like,
I was not comparing you to Michael Murphy. I was wondering how you came in the list like
Golden
top 10.
Globe nominee Kevin Connolly. Come on, you got to be on
You got to be
that list.
top 10, no?
I'm up there.
Be 11.
I'm up there.
He's 11.
No. Top 5. I was in the Hall of Fame. I'm in the Hall of Fame. So are you, right, Doug? You're in the Hall of Fame. Dylan, are you in the Hall of Fame?
I'm in the high school Hall of Fame.
I would
but
think so. I would think so.
You don't think so.
You
know, you're either in the Hall of Fame or you're not. You were
guess I'm
not
not then.
in the
I
Hall
guess
of
I'm
Fame.
not.
Dylan doesn't even know where the high school is. It's like the podcast office.
It's a dropout, bro.
No, but it was a great honor to be able to wear, and it's funny because it was before Lone Survivor, so it was just more of a local story at the time. So it was great to be able to honor, Mike Murphy, and it's pretty incredible. I mean, he grew up like a half mile away from me. I met him, once or twice as a kid, but pretty cool. So yeah, it was nice to be able to do that.
Make sure you guys go to Olivetta Restaurant in
and West Hollywood executive
Is
chef.
that Michael?
There we go.
Michael Fiorelli.
What's
West Hampton
up, Michael?
Beach.
I can't even see you. How you doing? We go there all the time. Hopefully, life gets back to normal.
Which place?
Olivetta.
Oh, wow.
That's Michael's
Nice.
place.
Everything in our lives is getting smarter. Our cars, our phones, the humans maybe not so much. That's why we need to have stuff to help our cats. If you're a cat owner like I am, I've got 2, I have news that's going to rock your world. Yes, I'm going to rock your world with kitty litter. It's smart kitty litter thanks to the world's smartest cat litter, Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter is the most advanced litter in every way. It changes color to help detect early signs of potential illness, including urinary tract infections and kidney issues. Do you know how important this is to find things out early so your cat is not suffering? And then also, just on a financial note, you can save yourself a lot of money if you catch things early. This is the smart way to go to protect your loved pets and your finances. Litter box cleanup is easier with Pretty Litter 2. Its ultra-absorbent crystals trap odor instantly and last up to a month. So Pretty Litter arrives safely at your door in a small, lightweight bag. Shipping's free, and you'll never have to worry about storing those giant, bulky containers or injuring yourself carrying those enormously heavy litter boxes. Your cat deserves the best. Your cat deserves the world's smartest kitty litter. Make the switch to Pretty Litter today by visiting prettylitter.com and use promo code VICTORY for 20% off your first order. That's prettylitter.com, promo code VICTORY for 20% off. prettylitter.com, code VICTORY. Meow.
Okay, this is a good one. What's everybody's favorite episode? This is Randy Rodriguez from Burbank, California, 25.
I don't know what it was called, but I don't remember the names of these episodes.
I'm
Doug, you
guessing
don't
it's
remember
some
them either.
episode where you were awesome in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that all of them? No, it was it was where Johnny Drama's having a tough time. He's getting a massage. He can't concentrate. He's getting a rub and tug. He's having a little problem. Because he's stressed
Did you
out
draw
about the
from
review.
your own life for that performance?
I don't know what you're talking about, Doug. But yeah, that's the one. What is it called? The review?
No, it's not the review.
Nice. You don't remember writing that, huh,
No,
Doug?
it's the resurrection. It's the episode
so
where he screams victory.
He gets the review. It's the Vegas victory on the knees at the Grand Canyon.
Where you were just like by yourself.
Yeah, I didn't need
yourself.
you guys. Just me and the camera. That's all we need.
You know, my favorite episode was the U2 episode. Not because of anything about what happened in the show, but U2 was my favorite band, and the fact
It was your birthday too.
It was my birthday. I had a lot of hair, and the fact that we were able to get U2, what happened was I wrote it for Dodger Stadium, and like a week before, we got a call that the Dodgers were not letting us shoot there
Because we were smoking weed.
Yeah, we were smoking weed. And,
Not real weed, fake weed, but...
And it's now legal, so maybe you can do that at Dodger Stadium now. I don't know. But anyway, Brian Burns, who worked on the show, he was always talking that he travels with Bono.
Everybody knows Bono.
Yeah, and I walked in, I was in a bad mood, and I said, hey, Burns.
No, you were in a bad mood?
I said, hey, Burns, why don't you get fucking U2 on the show? It's on my birthday, April 6th. And he looked at me like I was crazy. The next day, he called me up. He's like, they're in. Which, honestly, to explain how incredible that was in season 2, when we could barely get Mark Wahlberg to show up for his cameo, it was pretty amazing. And then...
Is that season 2, the U2 thing?
It was season 2,
yeah, I
right?
guess it was, yeah.
Yeah, and, when that happened and the filming of that, we were shooting that live at a U2 concert. Again, the show was not big yet, so nobody knew who we were. We were trying to film it. It was very complicated, and when we got that scene back, a lot of people think it's fake, and Bono says happy birthday, Johnny Drama, in Spanish. It was really a magical moment, and, I think of those things. And then Yankee Stadium had a similar feel to it.
I bet it did.
Mark So, little backstory to this Yankee Stadium episode. Mark Teixeira, who's a friend of mine, got us Yankee Stadium to film at, and I brought every one of my high school friends and their kids and my kids to shoot there, which was incredible. But the best part of this...
DGA rules.
So you know how we go, whoever hasn't heard this story. Kevin Connolly was directing the episode, which
I'm also a diehard Yankee fan.
I was nice enough to allow him to direct the episode. But there was no way he could act...
Conveniently, we couldn't schedule Yankee Stadium with the rest of the stuff. So
by the way, I could tell...
fill in for me as the director.
I could tell Connolly's white claws are kicking in because he's getting a little more aggro. But what happened was I tried to film it so that Connolly could somehow be in New York, film it, then back in LA. But it couldn't happen, and the producer called me and said, it's not possible. So I called, hey, buddy, I know how much you want to do this. It's not going to work. Click. He hangs up on me. I'm his friend and his boss, by the way. He hangs up on me and blocks me on Facebook, which to this day, I'm still blocked.
We're still in a standoff. He said, well, you need to request me. You unfriended me. I said, no, well, you should request me. So we're still not friends on Facebook, which is fine, because I get plenty of you on Instagram.
But when we were walking on the field at Yankee Stadium, and I had my kids, and A-Rod is on the set, and, to share, it was pretty amazing. And that's kind of how I felt about the whole show. We did things that, all of us grew up in places, we didn't know anything about Hollywood, never thought we'd get here, and we got to do stuff that was, once-in-a-lifetime dream stuff. So
my favorite episode that we did was called Welcome to the Jungle, and it was season 4, the first episode, and it was like the documentary about the making of Medellin.
Very well written.
It was. It really was. And, no.
Kidding.
It's
all about performance.
Yeah. No, but for me, it's my favorite because it was something a little bit different. I mean, it was sort of way out of it just was nothing like what we were doing. It was a documentary. It was strange. But
Hearts of Darkness was about the making of Apocalypse Now. I saw that. Christopher Guest, who's made Best in Show and Spinal Tap, inspired me a lot. So I wanted to do something that had that kind of vibe to it.
Right. So we weren't actually, obviously, shooting in Medellin. We were in
Medellin. Nobody can say Medellin, by the way. And his baby mom is from Medellin. I don't know why I can't say.
I know how to say it now. Yeah. Medellin. Oh, you say it like you knew it. You were saying it wrong the whole time.
No, I never had to say it, but I knew how to say it. You only asked.
Because you only had one line in the movie.
You had to say your line, bro.
Whatever. We had a tough time with that one. But the funniest thing I remember.
But your baby is Medellinian.
Yes, of course.
Medellin.
I'm half Colombian officially. I really am. My baby is Kennedy Cruz. But we were in Santa Anita, right? We weren't really in. Yeah, we were out.
We were at the Paramount Ranch, if I recall.
Which also brings up a great Reese Coiro story. Is that where you're going?
So, the storylines are heavily fleshed out, and the scripts are done. Basically, a good chunk of the scripts are done before we start shooting. So Reese, Billy Walsh is like, I mean, he's next to the guys. He's the main character. We need him. And on the first day, we're out at this ranch. It's probably, an hour outside of Hollywood, would you say? Just under an hour? Yeah. And it's like still dark out. It's like 5:30 in the morning.
And it's raining.
It's raining. And Reese pulls up on a dirt bike.
Yeah, like a $500 dirt bike.
He drove from Hollywood out to the middle of nowhere on a dirt bike, and Doug almost had a heart attack in the parking lot. I can't have it. If this guy goes down on the bike, they're going to shut the whole scene. He's in every episode. So Doug had to take him aside and look, we'll send somebody to pick you up.
Yeah. I'll pick you up myself.
It's not a street legal bike.
I remember I borrowed his bike, and I went ripping around the
That's
set.
exactly what Doug needed.
Going, get off that bike.
Dylan and Reese racing around on the dirt bike. But what'd you end up doing? Renting them a car or something?
You guys have no idea what a miracle it is to make it through the show with a bunch of fucking lunatics who you never know who's getting hurt. I mean, Kevin had a very serious basketball arm break, but if you saw this driveway...
I didn't have a serious...
Kevin Connolly broke his leg.
But Kevin Connolly's was, at least we were on something that looked relatively safe. Dylan's, the fact that we were playing basketball on that uneven pavement...
Cobblestone driveway?
Was so dumb, But Connolly, Russell Wilson airmailed a ball to Kevin Connolly. He broke his leg in several places.
It was high.
Yeah.
Definitely. He airmailed it.
Russell said it was a great pass. He thought it was you.
No, we did. We had some, we did some, how about Dylan, do you remember Eric Roberts with the camper? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's also one of my favorite episodes.
I don't know how, you wonder if that's even legal today.
What did he do?
Well, we were driving we're in the RV, right? We're out in the desert for Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
And the cameras are rigged up, and it's just a big, weird RV, remember?
I remember,
And we were doing the scenes with the girls in the car. We were waving to them, and he almost sideswiped the porn stars. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
I was like, guys, we can't. I was like, oh, flag
by the way,
play.
the Lincoln was in terrible shape. I used to drive the whole crew around. It had no brakes. The power steering was all over the place. It was a dangerous vehicle.
By the way, I almost killed Piven on the pilot because we didn't have enough days to shoot, and I wanted to get this restaurant, the Ivy, if you guys know it. I wanted Piven coming out of the Ivy, which was the big place an agent would go, and we didn't have any days, and I took the car, got my camera guy without any permits or anything, and I said, Jeremy, just
another
go
DGA violation.
Yeah, good thing I don't care to work anymore. But we sent Piven
You and this guy over here from Doheny.
But I said, Jeremy, go into the Ivy, make a reservation, then walk out. And he almost got hit by a car crossing the street. And then the Ivy saw the scene after when the show aired, and they wanted to get paid for it. But I don't think we ever paid him. So, what other questions we got, Kev?
Dylan, if drama had a signature cocktail, what would it be?
Johnny Blue. I heard of Johnny Blue. That's a good call. Johnny Blue, maybe, Irish crickets.
Crickets?
Irish crickets, Johnny
Irish
Blue.
Crickets?
It wasn't around.
Both
then.
of those.
Signature cocktail. Johnny Blue's a good signature cocktail. It's not cheap. E, do you
That's
ever
the way
get
Johnny
mistaken?
rolls.
I want to know if I ever get mistaken for Michael J. Fox. No. I wish, but no. I wish.
I've thought it a couple of times.
I'm 47 years old. There's nothing young about me at all. I love a young Michael J. Fox, never. But that's a compliment. Who was that? But I'm kidding. That was Seth Rollins.
You want more
from
compliments?
Georgia? No. All right, so that's the other one. What are the favorite cameos? Right? I mean, that's a common question, but
Yeah, I was just thinking of Drew Brees, especially with the whole what's going on in New Orleans right now. And I remember he had just won the Super Bowl, and it was the year after that big hurricane hit. So
he was a great guy.
He's great. Tom Brady was great.
I mean,
Phil Mickelson.
I'll probably answer it different every time it's asked, but James Cameron stands out to me because the fact that we were able to get him, build a show around him, and then, when he showed up, Connolly had given me some inside tips that he's tough on a set. And when I showed up on the set...
You're really inside tips, right? That's a big secret that Hollywood's been sitting on.
But when I showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and anyone who doesn't know, James Cameron is still the biggest director in the world, but we were lucky enough to have him, and I come on, and one of the ADs comes running over, like, Cameron's going fucking nuts. And I'm like, why? He's like, he hates the fucking script. And I was like, what do you mean? He had it for like a week. And I walk onto the set, and he's yelling, and everybody's standing around like Jesus is standing there yelling. And I'm like, holy shit, what do I do? And I'm like, Mr. Cameron, is everything all right? And he's like, no, everything's not all right. I'm not going to play a character like this. I'm not going to do this. And then he starts laughing his ass off. But I'm telling you, I don't think I've had, as scared as Connolly was of Seth Green really punching him, I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know where this is going, but it was pretty great to see.
I helped set that up.
Did you? Is that true?
Yeah, no, we were all in on it.
I mean, it was amazing. And then to get him back, and we had James Cameron on the set. It's midnight. And he's there 10 hours, and we're all freaking out. We're behind schedule. I'm like, we got to get James Cameron out of here. And I swear to God, I go to his trailer to try to apologize, and he comes out. He goes, Doug, how do you write this stuff? Like, this is so normal. I'm writing these blue people that... And he wasn't fucking with me, though. He was sitting there writing Avatar. And, I've seen him since. I was like, I wish you taught me how to write that instead of this, because I wouldn't be doing a podcast. I'd be doing, $200 million movies. But
that's what Dylan said. I always knew we'd be working together, Jim. Just didn't think it would be like this.
I didn't expect it to be like this.
And Connolly actually got an audition for James Cameron off of the show, right?
Yeah, I froze up, though. I choked. I admit it. I choked big time.
They should have cast Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, exactly. Michael J. Fox would have knocked that one out of the park, but I choked. Yeah, I did.
What was that part? That was Avatar, right?
Yeah, it was Avatar. Sorry, Dylan.
The Ribici part, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't get the call now. I'm going to have to talk to my agents about that. I'm pissed.
No, I thought I was under the impression that it was a regular audition, but it was in his kitchen. It was weird. Oh, there you go, Kev.
Ooh, hey, thanks, Bob. I appreciate
it. Don't tempt him with a good time.
By the way,
a nice cold one.
That is your friend, right? Because I don't want you to...
That's one of my best buddies.
Oh,
right
good.
Bob
I was like, God knows what's in that.
Yeah. The friend that cares. He doesn't like to see me drink warm beer.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll just sit over here and drink this 2-hour-old.
Don't worry about Kevin.
White Claw. Don't worry about me. What do I need? I'm good.
So what other questions do we got? Should we just let somebody yell it out?
Is there a mic out there? You still got the microphone, bro?
Where's that mic?
All right, here we go. He's got a suit suck shirt on. Give it to him.
If you guys do the reboot, will you shoot it on film?
Of course. Honestly, it was a big thing with the movie, and Steven Fairberg, who's our cinematographer and was awesome, there wasn't even a discussion. We were shooting it on film, and if we ever did it again, we would do the same for sure.
Okay, I get the vibe. You guys are film guys, right? I get this.
This is the guy guy who directed.
Of course,
Film
he directed Filmgate. He's a horror film guy.
Oh, I
yeah, of
recognize
course.
Awesome, man.
Jake
Awesome.
McPherson.
We all worked on.
Nice.
Jake McPherson.
Nice.
right?
I mean, I know we
Yeah.
got the guys who directed Cooper, which is the short film where they killed the dog and made us all cry. But they apparently have done a reboot.
Oh, they
of
recut it?
The short film for the Action Park Media Film
Weird
Festival.
that happened quicker than the Entourage reboot. That's for sure. Jesus,
Yeah,
take
here
it
it comes.
easy,
Here comes
Gary.
the mic.
Take it easy, Gary. Oh,
Gary almost fucking guillotined
Jesus
you,
Christ.
man.
Low key, like I've
Stunt's
worked.
jiu-jitsu coach.
I've worked as a production assistant. This guy's kicking ass. I saw him starting over there.
Oh,
running
he's
the
awesome.
fucking mic
Gary's
over here.
awesome.
Yeah, he's
God
good.
bless you, Gary.
Well, that was nice of you.
I had to ask. Now, God
course.
willing, God willing. All right, when
Spit it out, bro.
When,
Easy for you to say.
how do you talk to your
This is
fucking-
live. This is live. There's
time
no
crunch.
edit.
How do you talk to your
Jake
to your
Paul's getting
heroes?
ready to tee
How do you
off. We
talk
gotta
to your
get-
heroes? All right, when Ken says, "Fuck it, it's Vegas" to drama.
Yeah.
All right, that reaction that you put, I've been wondering since that episode aired. Did you surprise Mr. Allen? Did you surprise drama with that "fuck it, it's Vegas"? Because the way he laughed and
That is Dylan's acting. He had the script.
No, I knew it was
It's all
coming.
Kevin.
I knew it was coming.
it's fucking
Trying to
great.
make-
He knew it was coming
Make it feel
6 months
fresh.
ahead of time,
It's
bro.
been bugging me for a decade. You have no idea.
I'll tell you what I
Got the
surprised.
script
Thank you. I
6
think
months
that is a
earlier.
great
Yeah, he knew it was
compliment, though.
coming.
I'll tell you what I
Finish scene.
surprised. I'll tell you what I surprised Kevin with, which now it would take 2 seconds to do. But he was taking the bottle of lotion and he was walking out with it and
God.
dropping it. And I said, I want this to be like The Godfather when Michael
When he's leaving the restaurant, he does the
he
gun.
does the
where
thing
he
with the
just-
gun, which I don't even know why
I
he
dropped
does
the
it like
lotion
that.
like it was the gun in The Godfather.
But I think Dylan and I almost had a fight in the hallways.
45 minutes of these guys
Well, it's like,
arguing.
all you
who
had
was
to do-
better.
fucking remember what that was like, you know? And now
mean-
you can just pull up the scene on the phone.
yeah,
but
nowadays you can find it on your phone real quick. But if you told me the night before, I could have looked at it. And
I probably thought of it on the spot, but if you look at it now, and we should cut that side by
Does
side.
it look
but-
like it? Does
yeah,
it?
Michael
okay, good.
Corleone drops the gun, and Dylan does the same thing with the lotion.
Look, Dylan, you have no bigger fan than me, but you missed it by a mile. Bro.
Well, how was I
But
to
you
know?
didn't see it. No, of course
I
you
mean, I
didn't. That's-
saw
it
The
was close
Godfather.
enough.
By the
but-
way, nobody but me gives a shit. it was
I was a
inside
little
look.
thrown off.
I
was
walked
thrown
down that hallway 15 times for Doug Allen to try and get this throw down.
Dylan, I'll shove this bottle of lotion up your ass if you do one more take, motherfucker. Like, it will ultimately come to that. Ultimately.
And honestly, that's the best thing about us and how we started working together from day one. We were always like brothers, which there would be fights and near fist fights almost, but which I don't want to fuck with Dylan because he's crazy. But Dylan,
He likes to
and
fuck
I
a bit.
would,
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, well, Connolly's a little more Michael J. Fox. So, but I mean, Dylan.
Doug assaulted me at Mastros.
Dylan, just so you know, and I say this a lot, there are actors and that take your words and make them better. There are actors that you go, yeah, that's what I expected.
What are you saying?
I don't want to. Connolly was.
What exactly are you saying?
Connolly was amazing, of course, but Kevin
Thanks,
Dillon
Doug.
every day made me laugh in a way that I did not expect out of the character. And even when I first wrote the pilot, I was like, I hope this guy isn't too one note. And Dylan, from the second he walked into the first audition,
With golf spikes.
yeah, I mean, can you
true.
imagine?
That's
He
true.
walks in with white pants and golf spikes, and,
Titleist hat I think I had on.
and he just.
Gotta catch that tea time, bro. Let's get this
It's tea
going.
time.
And he killed it. And I don't know if Dylan, maybe we talked about this. I can't remember. I'm getting old. But, you know, HBO, they called me right after his test. And someone there was like, we don't get Kevin Dillon. And I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? That's the only thing I'm 100% positive is going to work. And about after they saw the pilot, they go, you were right. This guy's going to win an Emmy, which he didn't, unfortunately. But he got nominated. So.
He got nominated for 14 Emmys.
Over 4, right?
Well, I mean, guys, I can't thank you enough for coming out. This was really awesome and a lot of fun. And hopefully it was,
Thank you
Hopefully
guys.
You guys had a good time. It's the first time for us.
we don't really know what the fuck we're doing, so. But spread the word, spread the love, and maybe we'll be back. You never know, you know?
That's it.
Hell yeah.
That wraps up another live episode of Victory the Podcast.
First ever. All right.
Give it to us, Dylan.
All righty. 1, 2, 3. Victory! Awesome, you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
That was
so much.
amazing.